Okay, Gold Derby fans, we are here to talk about the very, very exciting race for Best Comedy Guest Actress. There are a few past nominees here, and then we have Becky Ann Baker. This is her first ever nomination. Let me just read the list real fast. So Becky Ann Baker for Girls, Angela Bassett for Master of None, Carrie Fisher for Catastrophe, Melissa McCarthy, SNL, Wanda Sykes for Blackish, and Kristen Wiig for Saturday Night Live as well. So 2 SNL people. So we're here with Amanda, and we're here with Zach, and we're here with Rob. Rob, I'm coming to you first. Who is winning Comedy Guest Actress?
Okay, so let me preface that this is hard because there is at least like maybe 4. You can make an argument for all of them actually to win this. But I'm going with Carrie Fisher for obvious reasons because, you know, she's beloved. She passed away very suddenly and unexpectedly, and I want to see Princess Leia win this Emmy. I just want it to happen, so I'm willing it to happen. But I think the argument is she's really beloved, and she's really good in Catastrophe too. It's the only nomination for the show. That's what hurts her, and I think what also hurts her is Melissa McCarthy is, you know, pretty freaking amazing in her episode of Saturday Night Live. So that's where I'm sitting right now.
I think that, I mean, Carrie Fisher definitely has the sort of Emmy story, you know, in that she passed away very suddenly. And, you know, this is, aside from the upcoming Star Wars film, I mean, this is pretty much the last thing we're ever going to see her in. And so there is that kind of sentimental factor there, and as well as the performance. I think that it's going to be hard to beat Melissa McCarthy, though, in that, you know, they tend to take the actress in a comedy, the comedy part of that pretty seriously, you know, aside from Jeffrey Tambor, as we've seen. And, you know, Melissa McCarthy kind of benefits from the same thing that Alec Baldwin benefits for, although, albeit with fewer episodes, in that she was in so much of this season of Saturday Night Live, and her sketches were highlights of the season. They were water cooler sketches, as it were. So I think that that really helps her out. Not to mention, I think that politics are going to be on the brain of a lot of voters. If there's a spoiler here, I think that it's Angela Bassett for Master of None. I mean, she's a 4-time Emmy nominee now without a win, and she's absolutely brilliant in that episode of Master of None as this woman coming to terms with her daughter's homosexuality. But again, it's not a comedic performance as you could categorize it as, you know.
Well, I like the thought of Angela Bassett and Courtney B. Vance having his and her Emmys, but I don't know. It's not really funny. And a lot of the episode before her daughter comes out, it's just them having Thanksgiving dinner. You're kind of wondering what's going on here.
Okay.
In this episode. But I mean, you're wondering, like, for a little bit, what's the point of watching Aziz Ansari's character and this little girl that he grew up with having Thanksgiving dinner every year? But oh man, I think in a plurality vote, it makes it easier for Carrie Fisher to win this. I think if it were in a ranked system ballot, only 80 people like it used to be, yeah, I do think she probably wouldn't win. Ironically, she lost the only other time she was in this category to Catherine Houston, who was the last person nominated posthumously. But I think it's going to be Princess Leia. It's just been one of those talking points all year. Every in memoriam package has ended with her. So I think there's probably just enough people who will vote for her. And I think Kristen Wiig getting in is probably what's going to maybe help her out a little bit, because Kristen Wiig will take votes.
Maybe, but like 1 or 2. I mean, we saw it last year with Tina and Amy winning over Amy Schumer and Melissa McCarthy, that vote splitting didn't matter in this category when you have such a front runner, and Amy and Tina were the clear front runner. Just like I think Melissa McCarthy is I mean, people have been talking about Melissa McCarthy's performance since she first appeared in, what was it, March?
April.
Yeah.
And it was
Before that, I think.
such a water cooler moment that even if you don't watch it, you know that she did it. And I don't know how many of these people actually watched Catastrophe. And
That's true.
I don't
And
think
like,
it matters if they've watched the show. I think they'll see Carrie Fisher's name and they might just go,
I think that's
oh my
the
God.
point. That's the point.
Yeah.
But with Melissa McCarthy as well, like the Sean Spicer stuff did kind of, it moved out of just being part of Saturday Night Live. It was part of the pop culture. Like, even if you haven't seen the show, you would have seen it on your social media feed. You would have seen it on the news. You would have seen it on any of the late night shows. Like, it was just...
You would have seen it during the White House press briefing when they asked her about it.
It was everywhere. And just that alone will probably get her that Emmy. She's also been nominated how many times in this category? 4? Is this her 4th? Yeah. So
Fifth.
without a win. Right. This is her 5th nomination without a win. She's overdue in this category. She's only won for Mike and Molly. So there's a lot of arguments for Melissa McCarthy as well. I just think that the Carrie Fisher sentimentality, and by the way, Emmy voters are not generally very sentimental. We know that, right? But I just think this one's going to transcend that statistic. And I think she might just be able to pull it off because of who she is.
I think Carrie Fisher is this year's Melora Hardin for Transparent. A lot of people were predicting Melora last year. But then again, what you said earlier, Zach, is really important. In these dramedies, it's very rare to win for a dramedy. I mean, Bradley Whitford also did it for Transparent, but yeah, usually it's a laugh out loud slapstick kind of a character.
Can I please interrupt you? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
She is funny in this episode.
She is so... Catastrophe is not a dramedy. It's very, very funny. I cackled like crazy through this one. Every time Carrie Fisher she's with the mother-in-law and she's just so overbearing. Her character is so funny.
And it's very bitter,
very, very funny.
Because Sharon's character's
she's
father died, and Carrie Fisher's trying to console the mother by telling her, "Oh, you won't be single for long." I mean,
it's great.
And then, like in the same breath, she's telling her son, "Like, I want to go get souvenirs." Like,
it's great. Everyone must watch it. It's a masterclass in just like really funny, subtle comedy. It's really good.
It's definitely a great episode. I mean, I think it should have been up for writing as well. But I think that, have enough people watched it to know that it's a funny performance? I certainly hope so.
Does that matter, though?
I
mean, it does.
I think so, yeah.
It may and it may not. We don't know. I think it's really, I think you can make compelling arguments for both Melissa McCarthy and Carrie Fisher. I think just to go back to, sorry, I just wanted to go back to something you said earlier, Marcus, about vote splitting. I think that is something that we should look out for in every acting category because we saw a lot of instances of it last year. But in the case of like this, it's not just two SNL hosts going up against each other. It's very clearly one who entered into the lexicon with a character that she was playing, and another who is, all due respect to Kristen Wiig, nominated for a very good episode of Saturday Night Live. And I think that's the distinction, and that's why vote splitting might not be a problem for her. What would be a problem for Melissa McCarthy is if there is indeed this groundswell of support for Carrie Fisher. But let me ask you this. I mean, these awards aren't televised. They do have I guess it would be her son who would go up on the main telecast to
daughter.
They go up to present an award, right?
Yeah,
her daughter. She doesn't have a son.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that Carrie Fisher had I thought that
she's got a brother, but her daughter is also on TV, so it would be one of those really.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of her brother. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to every Carrie Fisher fan out there. I got their family.
I'm sure they'll
family history wrong. Don't send me hate mail. But so there could be some kind of I forgot where I was going with this. Anyway, but you know what I mean. I mean, it's not.
I don't think I don't think Carrie Fisher will win based on a name check. I think name checking helps with nominations a lot, especially when you have a ballot of 40, 50, 60 people. That's when the names pop out and voters will vote for something if they haven't watched it. But what we saw last year with Tatiana Maslany, like, that was not a name check. Rami
No.
Malek was not a name check. These people won because their episodes were watched by the voters, and they have a core fan base. I mean,
Yeah.
if name checking really, really happens in the winning process, wouldn't Viola Davis have won last year over Tatiana? Wouldn't Kevin Spacey have won by now?
Well, I'm just saying there might be some people who voted in these categories, and you know, they might literally just go to vote in this category for that reason because they love her so much. But I think I love that episode, and we haven't talked about Wanda Sykes. I think she's hilarious, but
she's great.
It's just
She's not an
right
also
here.
ran. She belongs in this category, and we shouldn't be ignoring her. And also Becky Ann Baker, Peter Scolari won last year. It's possible that she could easily. Girls seems to do very well in the guest categories all of a sudden, and Becky Ann Baker.
That's the one award HBO's never won as Best Comedy Guest Actress.
Well, this could be it because Becky Ann Baker is good in her episode. Wow, she's like the fact machine.
I did that HBO top 10 comedy winners, so that's how I don't like.
So then, why not Becky Ann Baker? She's excellent in Girls. She should have been nominated years ago for her performance as the mum, and the dad won last year. So why not now give it to the other half? Like, there's arguments for all of these people.
That's true. And I mean, with this being the last season of Girls and a season that people liked more than the last couple of seasons, I mean, she could benefit from that. And Wanda Sykes too. I mean, you talk about a comedic performance. I mean, she is breathtakingly funny in every moment she's in Blackish. She's not just in that one episode. She's in a ton of episodes from this past season. She's one of
Has anyone counted her episode count yet? Riley surely has done that.
We're counting on you, Riley.
Wanda's great, and she's the one addition to Blackish's total this year, right? I mean, Blackish still has not gotten anything below the line, which is absolutely criminal.
Below the line, it's never got a writing or a directing.
How could it not have gotten that Donald Trump episode in writing? I just don't get
Lemons.
it. Lemons.
I think she was in that one too, right?
Sucks lemons.
Yeah.
It's not particularly a funny episode. I mean, it's touching, but it's not exactly.
It's very impactful. I think it was the perfect thing to watch after that disaster that happened.
I'm looking now. Lemons is the one she actually submitted. So,
perfect. There you go.
So that's good. At least the episode is nominated for something.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Rob.
I was just wanted to circle back to Angela Bassett, actually, because I think she was really quite good in that episode, just like what Zach said earlier. And because I had said the word impactful, and I think Wanda Sykes, she has that, and Carrie Fisher has a little bit of it because of her story. But just looking at performances, the impact and emotion, I think Angela Bassett has a lot of that because she does. By the end of the episode, accept her gay daughter, and it's very, very poignant, and it really it affected me. It meant a lot to get through that episode and watch this transition from her being not accepting to being accepting and loving, a loving mother, and that she did it beautifully. And if they're thinking about that kind of thing, if they get caught up in that side of it, Angela Bassett has this.
And she's definitely the actor's actor in the category. I mean. Sorry to interrupt you, Rob, but it's Marcus. She's the one who's like.
Person.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize, but
twins.
She gives like the most well-rounded performance, but it's not exactly the funniest performance.
Right, that's true. I remember when I watched that episode, like the day after Master of None came out. I just binged them all. I think I emailed Chris Beecham, who's in charge of the prediction center, and I said, make sure Angela Bassett is in guest actress when we open those predictions, because she could win. She's that good. And the fact that she's never won before, I think that helps her. If we get that story out there and voters realize, what? Angela Bassett's never won an Emmy?
Get that story out. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Master of None this season. It's a shame they had as Bobby Cannavale and won too many episodes.
I know. I loved it dearly. I think also with that, you just got, I think about Angela Bassett being nominated in 1992 for What's Love Got to Do with It. Like, she has been around for a very long time, and I've never seen her win a trophy. She probably has won something, but I just think, like, she is super overdue. I think we have to watch her. Not even Carrie Fisher, even though I'm predicting Carrie Fisher for now, could be Angela Bassett v. Melissa McCarthy here.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig also, I'm looking now, she has 8 nominations and no wins. So, I mean, we could have a first-time winner in this category, which is great.
Zach, I think there's something wrong with your microphone because we can't hear you. That's probably why we keep interrupting you. Yeah, but anyway, so yes, you're right. Kristen Wiig. There we go.
It's good. It's good now, Zach.
I'd
Yeah.
go without headphones.
Yeah.
One thing that I think could help Angela Bassett as well is that, I mean, she had a very good season of American Horror Story. So maybe there's some kind of residual goodwill. I just think, I mean, if I, talking with Lena Waithe, who's nominated for writing that episode, which I think it'll be a formidable challenger for writing as well. It's such a personal story that a lot of people, probably a lot of people in the TV Academy have gone through, having to come out to your parents and wondering what their reaction is going to be like. And I think that that could probably benefit her, is the fact that there's so much relatability that a lot of people probably have. And the way that it's really difficult what she has to do, to try to still show this love for her daughter, but a lack of understanding because she doesn't get it. Like she doesn't. It's a very subtle thing that she has to do here. And I mean, if I had a vote, I'd vote for her.
What about you guys? If you were voters and you could only pick one, there's no ranking, I would go with Melissa McCarthy. What about you two?
I'm letting you. Okay. Yeah, I probably would go with Carrie Fisher because of my ridiculous catastrophe bias.
I love that show.
I do love that show very, very much. But, I would have to think very hard about it because I thought Angela Bassett was pretty amazing. And I love the spicy Sean Spicer on Saturday Night Live. I think it's gold. It's gold.
Yeah.
It's too bad they couldn't edit all of those together because as great as she is in her normal episodes, if they were just based on episode, it would maybe be a little closer of a race. Because some of her best spicy moments were before the one in the Easter Bunny suit. Oh my gosh.
The props, and when she puts the stiletto up, and it's just like, oh my God, I laugh so hard. And she's not, forget the Sean Spicer, when she's doing just the other stuff, she's so physical. We know that she likes to get super physical, and I just think she's such a legend. She's a legend of comedy. Everything she does, I'm there to watch it.
I just want to add that when you're talking about our sketches, all four of us are laughing, just thinking. Yeah, that's the power of this role. I'm serious. That's how.
You're right. You're right.
Important this is culturally. We all know what she did, and
but is Saturday Night Live really going to win 4 acting awards? I mean, let's step back and think about this. Is it really going to win 4?
Why would it win 4?
4 is it going to lose in?
It's not going to win 4, but this is, if I had to bet on the one that I think it was the likeliest to win, this would be one of them.
Yeah.
Just because of the cultural impact of what she did.
I don't one on the bubble. Like they could win it, but they could lose it.
Yeah, as we'll talk about in other
yeah.
Not predicting Saturday Night Live to sweep through the acting categories, but I do think that this is one of the ones that they could probably feel safest about. Just because of the cultural impact of it, and because of the fact that whenever we bring up the various sketches that she was in, it makes us smile, and it probably makes voters smile as well. Just remember.
Yeah. It could win 4, actually. Yes, the answer to that question is yes. It could win 4 easily.
Well, so could Westworld, but that's not. I mean,
Saturday Night Live has had.
I'm just saying they're in all 4 categories.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I mean, what show has had a year like this? It's the Trump factor again. It's same with Handmaids. It's across the board. It's the Trump thing, and it could win all 4 easily, which would be really cool.
Let's reconvene and talk about comedy guest actor, where it could win there as well. So thank you everyone for watching, and keep coming back to Gold Derby. Go make your predictions right now for the 2017 Emmys.